Welcome back to Cocktails and Classics. This week, we watched The Naked Gun. Files of the Police Force, right?
Yeah, got it. That's right.
Yeah, from the Files of the Police Squad. Sorry, not Police Force.
Close enough.
I'm Dylan. Joining me is Cam and Zach.
Hi.
And to kick things off and get everybody in the right mood, we're going to go to this week's cocktail. This week, we're drinking the Bramble, invented by Dick Bradsell, one of the founding fathers of the London's modern cocktail scene. It was created in 1984 when he was working at Fred's Club in Soho. He wanted to make a cocktail that was using entirely British products, so you can use blackberries or creme de mure, which is a blackberry liqueur. But it's two ounces of gin, 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice, 1/4 of an ounce of simple syrup, and a 1/2 ounce of creme de mure, or you can muddle like 5 to 6 blueberries in your drink. It's good. It's summery gin drink. What's not to like, you know?
I'm a big fan of blueberries.
It's blackberries. Did I say blueberries?
Oh, jeez. I don't know what you said.
You said you can also muddle like 5 or 6 blueberries in your drink. Yeah, I think we need more things in life that support 100% UK products. The UK's really been down in the dumps ever since they did that whole conquer every inch of the world thing.
Yeah, and then we're like, you know what? We only want UK products, so let's exit the EU and become isolationists. It's gone very well so far, so.
Yes. That's why you should try the Bramble.
Make a Bramble. Check the show notes below. Once again, we'll have those links to Drizzly so you can get your gins, your creme de mures, all those weird products that you may not be able to find at your local liquor store. Send us a pic at Cocktails and Classics Pod on Instagram. The Naked Gun is a 1988 comedy film, kind of like a noir satire, pretty much. It's the story of an incompetent police detective, Frank Drebein, played by Leslie Nielsen, who must foil an attempt to assassinate Queen Elizabeth II. Currently sits at a 7.6 out of 10 on IMDb. Directed by David Zucker, written by Jerry Zucker, Jim Abrahams, and David Zucker. Stars Leslie Nielsen, Priscilla Presley, O.J. Simpson, George Kennedy. Weird Al's in there for like a hot second.
All of literally 5 seconds.
For one gag. I've never seen this movie. Zach, you've seen it?
Yeah, I've seen them all.
Cam, is this your first time?
Yeah, I have not seen any of them. This is the first one.
Okay. Wow, you know, I don't really know what I was thinking, but it's Airplane in crime version.
Maybe I'll just start with my opinion at the top. I think this is a worse version of Airplane. I don't think it's quite as funny. I don't know. I thought it was all right. I thought it was very okay.
Yeah, this movie's like if you dial back the jokes in Airplane by like 20% and then increase the storyline to fill the gaps. I think that's sort of what you get here with the Naked Gun series. They're still funny, but I'm just not hooked in enough to care about the story. I'd rather have more laughs.
Right, and the plot is not something you care about in these movies. The only reason the plot exists is to just get us between gags.
I do agree with your guys' analysis. Like it's less jokes per minute, a little bit more of like we're trying to tell a story here. Because I feel like this one is more so like I said, like a parody of a noir thing. Like they kind of like had an idea of what they wanted to satire. They got to hit the beats of that satire. Because I think these guys also did like Scary Movie and stuff. So it's like, all right, we know the cliches and the like points of what we have, and we got to hit those, and then we throw in the jokes.
I don't know why I preferred Airplane much better than this one. I mean, maybe it is just the more jokes per minute. I do feel like there were some bits in this movie that were kind of way more drawn out than they needed to be. Like there was the scene with like the fish or whatever in that dude's
the pen.
Yeah, in the pen, and like God, that just like all right, it was kind of funny when it first happened, but when we kept doing the same thing for like 5 minutes, I was like, all right.
Did you guys know that OJ was in this going in?
I did not. So
No.
when you showed up, I was like, that'll be a great talking point for Cocktails and Classics.
So yeah, OJ's in this. Luckily, the OJ appearance is very brief, and every single instance of OJ being in this movie, he's like getting hit
Or
right?
shot.
Or shot. Or, whatever. He's in a coma for a lot of the movie. And I was curious if he was in all the Naked Gun movies, because Naked Gun 33 and a Third came out in 1994, which I think is the same year as the O.J. Simpson trial. I don't know if it was before or after the trial, though. I'm trying to find it.
Pretty sure he was in all of them, yeah.
So I looked it up. He is in 3. And Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ron Goldman were stabbed to death on June 12th, 1994. And then the trial started November 9th, 1994. So this movie was made and released around the same time that OJ
did nothing wrong.
that OJ became known as a murderer forever.
Apparently, this is based off a TV show, Police Squad, that came out in the 1982.
Another goofball TV show.
It still had Leslie Nielsen and created by the same guys. So it's
All right.
just a.
The good news for Naked Gun 33 and a Third, other than the fact that it's terrible, apparently, according to every review online. According to everybody, this isn't me. This is just for that one, for 3. Is it came out early 1994, so it was before all the bad stuff happened. So those audiences went into that theater to see O.J. Simpson for probably one of the last times on screen. I don't know if there was another one, but...
It's such an interesting, there was the gag with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in Airplane, and they're like, you know what? O.J. Simpson's our guy in this one.
And of all the players, and of all the athletes they picked, they landed on that one.
The juice. He was top of the
He
world.
was like
man.
America's sweetheart before.
Yeah, OJ was the original Drew Barrymore.
That is kind of crazy to think about. These people that we only know OJ as a murderer, but it'd be crazy. It'd be I guess we kind of got that with Aaron Hernandez, but I don't know. I'm just trying to think of I don't know. It'd be like if LeBron James murdered his entire family and then went to trial, and then got acquitted of murdering his family, even though everybody thinks he did it.
Well, Game 7 was coming up.
It's just crazy. It's just crazy to me.
One more actor I want to throw out there. Nancy Marchand is in this movie, who plays Livia Soprano, Tony Soprano's mom.
I haven't seen all of The Sopranos. I've only seen one season, but I was where do I know that woman from? And I looked it up. I was yes, she's the Soprano lady.
Yeah, she does a great job in her role as the Soprano lady. She's extremely hateable from the first time you meet her.
She is very hateable in that movie. Or TV show. Not movie.
About to be a movie. The thing I enjoy about these movies is that they don't shy away from just being so stupid. The how quickly they will just switch from using an actor to a ragdoll.
Yeah.
It's so funny. When Ludwig, he's dragging Jane up the stairs, and there's just a quick shot when it cuts away and comes back where she's not Priscilla Presley anymore, and it's just a doll, and then it comes back and it's her again. It's what? They're just throwing people off the shit, doing 8 flips because it's a doll. Okay, all right.
They probably save a lot of money on stunt people. They're you know what would be funny? Let's just use a mannequin.
I noticed there's a couple of wordy gags in this one, but I don't think there was as much of it, or it wasn't as good as Airplane. In Airplane, there's that whole gag about oh, Shirley, you can't be serious. I am serious. Don't call me Shirley. It's we got clearance. Roger. What's your vector, Victor? That whole bit. And in this one, there was a few, and they made me chuckle, but I just I maybe it's because we watched Airplane, and that is that was so highly regarded by us. I feel I think we all gave it 7s and 8s, right?
Yeah, something like that. I get that, but at the same time, that's not this movie came out after Airplane, a while, not a while, but years after Airplane. So it's not people saw this and then saw Airplane. It's totally fair to judge this one against a previous work that is very, very similar to this.
God, one of the gags that I was just like, what the hell and why was when Jane is like going to get the like ledger off the library book. He's like angling himself to like look up her dress, and she like grabs the stuffed beaver, and he's like, "Nice beaver."
Thanks, I just had it mounted.
Like, why? What is the point of that stupid joke?
Leslie Nielsen is so good at that, though. If you enjoy that, you'd love the Naked Gun movies. Honestly, if you make it through the second one, you might as well watch the third. But they're not as good as Airplane.
Yeah, I mean, his whole his dry delivery and just deadpanness really just fits the humor so well. Like the Cuban? No, Dutch Irish. My father was from Wales.
Yeah.
Okay.
My favorite gag in this movie is when Drebein is trying to get information at the dock, and he starts trying to bribe the guy, and he hands him like a 20. He's like, "How about now?" And he's like, "I don't know, a little bit more. I can't say. Oh, can you spot me a 20? Sure. Here you go. How about now?" And then they reverse rolls. It reminds me of like the Looney Tunes, like Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck. Like, it's rabbit season. No, it's duck season. It's rabbit season. All right, it's rabbit season. No, it's duck season. I love that bit.
Yeah, I do feel like these movies are kind of like Looney Tunes bits, but like PG-13 or R-rated, I guess. Like a lot of them. If you turn them into like kid versions of the gags, sometimes you don't even need to, but like that, and then put them in like you said, like a Looney Tune episode or something like that, I think it would actually work really well. Or it'd fit, at least.
Jane and Frank's romance is just
it's so weird and cringy.
So weird. Yes, I was going to say, it's like pure cringe.
Yeah.
I'm boiling a roast. How wet and hot do you like it?
I think some of that is intentional. I mean, obviously the age difference is super weird. I don't know if that could also be a result of like the parodiness of the movie.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's not, but hopefully it is, because that would be a little better.
Let me change into something more comfortable.
Changes out of a suit
into a suit.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Speaking of Priscilla Presley, Jane, her most successful thing as an actor was probably being on Dallas. And she left Dallas to do this movie.
Oof.
And she appears in the other two Naked Gun movies, but it's kind of all downhill after Dallas.
I also thought in this movie, speaking of which, that the supporting actors weren't nearly as good as they were in Airplane. I thought they were much funnier. Like Leslie Nielsen, I think, is pretty good in both, but I feel like the supporting cast is a lot better in Airplane. Like, funnier.
Yeah, I don't know if Leslie, because in Airplane, he's not the main character.
I mean, I guess, but he kind of practically speaking,
I feel like
he is.
He steals the show in a sense,
yeah.
But he's not the main character. Ted is,
right?
And I'm like, maybe Leslie isn't a star. Maybe he shouldn't lead a movie.
Maybe, I don't know if that's necessarily I just feel like, so in Airplane, there were a lot of bits that were funny. And a lot of bits that were funny that did not include Leslie Nielsen, but were still funny. And like you said, the actual main character has funny parts in that movie. There's I don't know, one of my favorite bits of that movie is where they there's a line forming to shake the woman and whatever, and then there's weapons and stuff for people in line. I think that was funny in that movie. And then this one, all the gags were with him, and none of the supporting cast was I don't know, that good, or had that much funny bit that. I just feel like the supporting cast of this was not as strong, or the writing for the characters wasn't as strong.
Literally every gag, everything revolves around him.
Yeah,
since he is the lead. I know we've already kind of started to dip into him, but scenes. Gags, lines that stood out.
So there's the at the docks, the paying the man scene for information, but the other one that it cracks me up every time is when Leslie Nielsen is parking his car on the street and he hits the trash can, the airbags go off, he gets out of the car and walks away, but the car rolls down the hill and just starts causing destruction. And all of a sudden Leslie Nielsen's looking around, he's like, "Did anybody get a look at the driver? Did anybody get a plate? It's like it's its own car just rolling down the road.
I do also appreciate the like running gags, like him driving somewhere and always crashing into something when he parks every time.
Knocks that guy off at the docks.
Yeah, like shit like that is funny.
The one that was really funny to me was when he like shows up at the meeting place to meet Ludwig, and he's got the guy there, and he's like, "Take that, you lousy cop!" And he's shooting at him, and he's like, "I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Don't fire the gun while you're talking." It's like such a stupid bit, but it made me like bust out.
I think some of the like noir parody I think are funny, like when he's like walking and like narrating. I think he's like outdoors in the city, and he like does hopscotch, and then eventually he just kind of wanders out into the wilderness, and he's like, "And where the hell am I?" And then he like the camera pans up, and he's just like in the woods or whatever.
Oh, the entire driving instruction scene. Leslie Nielsen gets in the back of the car, and there's almost like a chase sequence. My favorite part is at the end. The driving instructor's like, "No, ma'am. Extend your arm outside the window. Now extend your middle finger." Why didn't I learn that in driving school?
Frank chases down Ludwig. They're at like Dodger Stadium or whatever on the balcony. Frank stuns him, and they're like, "Oh my God, you killed him!" And no, he's just stunned. And then he ends up falling over the edge, landing on the ground and getting run over by a car, and then a bus. He gets run over by a bus, then a steamroller, and then like the USC marching band walks over him, and Ed walks up and he's like, "Oh, it's horrible, Frank. It's so horrible." And he's like, "I know. My father went the same way."
Yeah, he went out Lion King style. You know what's funny about that scene is it is the actual USC marching band that does like the trampling, but the music you hear is dubbed in from a different marching band.
That's weird.
Like they used one band for the visual and one for the audio. It's like why not? You already got them. You already paid them. Just make them record.
Yes, you may use us, but you may not use our music. Thank you.
Maybe they weren't able to like
That'll
capture
cost you more.
the audio in a good way when they were there. Who knows? That is kind of weird though.
Making money off college kids' likeness. Oh yeah, way to go, America. I mean, there's the OJ gag at the very beginning when he's breaking into the boat, and he just
Kicks through the door.
kicks the door, he slams his hand in the window. It's just punishment after punishment ongoing. And it just goes on for so long. You know, it's like 2 or 3 gags in, you're like, okay, this is going to wind down. The 10th gag, you're like, oh my God, how much longer is Nordberg going to suffer?
And then Frank shows up and closes him in the bed.
Oh yeah, when he's laid up in the hospital bed, it's hilarious.
We're going to go to some commercials. We're going to come back. Zach's going to take us through a trivia quiz. You know we love saving the turts. You know Cam hates fucking paper straws.
Paper straws song. I will say that paper straw technology has improved since I last shat on paper straws. I have used a couple since I've been able to go out more recently due to being vaccinated. And
That's what they were doing the whole time while we were inside. They were just inventing better paper straws.
I have seen also not paper straws, but it seems like they're compostable plastic straws or something. Like
You're talking about the
like,
ones that are made out of like agave or whatever?
I have no idea what the composition of these straws are. I'm just, but they are different.
I'm not a straw expert.
But you're the expert, Dylan.
But I do know a good glass straw when I see one, you know?
Yes. I will say for being at home and where you know, maybe you like straws in your fruity margaritas or you like straws to mix with your, you know, old fashions or whatever. You know, having these straws around the home is really nice. No, not constantly like throwing things away, or you don't have to keep buying straws all the time. Like you just buy a couple and then you're good.
And if you want cocktail picks or muddlers, they have that too. There's many colors. He's getting into like designs. So like the pride flag, he puts it on like the side of the straw. He's got hearts. He's got critters. It's like you get a piece of art along with a straw. Little multi-use.
Oh yeah, he has critter straws, which have see a dolphin, a salamander. That salamander looks intricate. That is impressive.
grab some glass straws from Surfside Sips, use promo code cocktails and classics spelled out for 20% off. We get a little kickback from that, and you get to save some money on some glass straws, and they should last you a long time. Dishwasher safe. They're pretty sturdy. Just don't drop them on the floor like me, like a big idiot. You have to buy more. Every episode, Zach comes up with some questions, tests us on our movie knowledge. What do you got for us on Naked Gun?
Anywho, question number 1. The license plate during the student like driving instructor chase scene when they're getting chased by the semi-truck at the end. The license plate that's on the semi-truck is from what state? A, Ohio, B, Michigan, or C, Georgia?
Wow. He did all three.
So it's one of them, huh? Dang.
My mind is telling me Michigan, but my body is telling me Ohio. I think it's Ohio.
I don't think it's Michigan, because I feel like I would have seen Michigan's, especially back in the day. The Michigan plate was like the bright blue one, you know? I feel like I would have caught that, but maybe not. So I'm going to say Ohio as well.
I got 2 Ohio's.
Yes.
You guys get 0 points. It was a Michigan plate. It was the blue one.
Yeah.
Wow. You only see it for a split second. Yeah.
Really? Oh, wow. I just did not miss it. Oh, okay. Just did not see it.
That's something Ben would notice, but not me. I'm not watching the movies for Zach trivia. I'm watching the movies for enjoyment.
All right, there's another scene where we see Frank Drebin's refrigerator, and like everything that's in there is super expired. But in particular, there's a jar of mayo that's super old, and you can see the expiration date. What year did that jar of mayo expire in? A, 1982, B, 1992, or C, 2002?
Well, you said everything's super old.
Yeah, the mayo's like disgusting looking.
But the expiration date
I think it's a meme.
being in the future doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm confused here.
What? Hey, maybe it just went bad. Well,
Did you guys watch the rest of the movie?
what do you mean the rest of the movie?
Do you remember the scene where the 2 characters were like practicing safe sex so they got into
Yeah.
life-size con? Nothing in this movie has to make sense.
Yeah, I have it as my background here. The body condoms.
You take that one to work.
Do you practice?
I mean, I'm not saying it has to make sense. It's just like the time, like, what? I mean, I want to say 82, but like that doesn't make a lot of sense, you know? Like, well, sorry, that is the only one that makes sense.
Yeah, as far as Zach's options. And did I say that Police Squad came out in 82? I think earlier.
Yeah, I think Police Squad started in 82.
So that makes me kind of want to say 82. I'll bite on a meme, and I will say 92.
I was going to bite on that one too, but I don't want us to have the same score. So,
Of
yeah.
0?
Well, 0 or 1, who knows? I will say 2002.
Ladies and gentlemen, they fell for the meme.
Jesus.
It was 1982.
That's so stupid.
What?
That's so dumb. I was like, that doesn't make. I mean, that makes sense. That's the only answer that makes sense. So it cannot be that answer, right? Oh my god, how stupid!
I hate this. This sucks. This sucks.
I want to re-roll.
All right.
There might be tiebreaker.
There might be a tie. I think I might just get the win if you guys don't. If I sweep both of you, I think I might just finally get my first win. Question number 3. Frank Drebin's revolver is a Colt Detective Special, Colt Dragoon, or Colt 45?
In 2
I
zigzags.
feel like a Colt 45 is a big gun, right? I think a Colt 45 is pretty big. And he has like a snub nose.
It's a good-sized tall boy, too. It's at least 40 ounces.
Yes. What were the first two options?
Colt Detective Special, Colt Dragoon, or
I feel like the
Colt
detective
45?
special is just asking for it. Like the
Yeah, I
that's
feel
like the detective guns back in the day were like snub-nosed revolvers.
I feel like Dragoon is like too weird of a title for like Colt to call.
Man, I don't know. I'm gonna say the Dragoon. I mean, it might be the detective special and total like non-meme, I guess, but I don't know. I can't pick it. I don't have the will.
He's been broken.
You know, I'll go with the detective special, I guess. I'm gonna fucking hate it if it's 45, but I'm gonna go with detective special.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen,
It's the
No.
detective.
No.
we have a winner.
Is it you?
It is
is it
Dylan. It's the Colt Detective Special.
Oh,
Okay.
Those are Colt's
the most
three
unsure
best-selling
answer I've ever
revolvers.
put out there.
Colt's
okay.
all-time 3 best-selling revolvers.
Yeah,
are the Detective Special, the Dragoon, and the 45.
I knew it was because yeah, the detective special or like the detective guns in general, like they're known for being that type of gun. I should have picked that one.
I was
Oh well.
I was really hoping I would get you guys. I'm like, why would they name something the Detective Special? That can't be it.
Weird. The Dragoon is like a fucking 1800s like infantry revolver.
Oh, that's like a Red Dead revolver.
I mean, it's also a 44 caliber revolver.
All right, boys. Thanks for playing. Dylan gets the win. And I did not have to use my last couple trivia questions because they sucked.
Do we want to do reviews or should we just go to our reviews?
Did you have actual like other people's reviews or no?
I mean, we have your wife's review, Cam. Utter trash. 0 out of 10.
That's true. She did give this a 0 out of 10 and said utter trash. Which, yeah, I don't know about utter trash.
Is she just not an OJ fan? Not a Reggie Jackson fan?
Well, definitely not an OJ fan.
1,100 yards, man.
Pure smut. That's what I'm calling this.
Pure smut? Okay. There's like one very, very safe sex scene in the movie, alright?
Hey, he also grabs ladies' boobs.
Yes, they reminded him of his wife. Oh, here's a good review. This is on IMDb. This is the only 1-star review that has been left for this movie. If the world was like this, humans would be extinct. This swill was one of the worst things I've ever seen. I was expecting a truly classic comedy, but turns out it was the biggest piece of unrealistic trash. I just cannot get over the fact that the characters were all incompetent. Now, occasionally in a real-world setting, you will get a couple of dumbasses, but if the world was like this, it would have exploded already. Leslie Nielsen's character seems like a ripoff of Mr. Magoo. At least Magoo was original. I just don't think I will ever get this style of comedy. I just don't think it's funny, interesting, or anything new. I swear I did not want to like it, though, but just couldn't. Wait, what? I swear I did not want to like it, though, but just maybe they mean I swear I wanted to like it, but I couldn't.
Yeah, like I tried to like it.
This movie has no 2-star reviews, no 3-star reviews.
This one on Letterboxd says, contextually, this movie doesn't work if you weren't between the ages of 16 and 22 when this movie came out. I put this on and did not laugh a single time, but I can't really blame the movie because the target audience was not going for a 23-year-old male in the year 2021. I know it's easy to just write something off as just boomer humor.
Boomer humor.
Boomer humor.
Boomer humor. I loved this movie when I was a kid. Boy, I was dumb when I was a kid. This was a wretched film. It was hard to find a laugh in any of it. I think I laughed once legitimately. A lot more of the time I was cringing. Or just bored. Anyway, if you ever decide to revisit something you loved in your youth, as we often do, skip this one.
Here you go. This one seems one's good. The Naked Gun was a huge letdown from Airplane. I know it's comparing apples and oranges, but considering it's made by the team, I think the comparison is appropriate. While Airplane was clear about its humor, The Naked Gun goes for broad humor. I read that this was based on older television shows, so I cannot attest if it lives up to that. But as a new viewer, going in cold, I found the broad comedy here to fall flat more times than not. Do certain comedy bits in here work? Yes, but there are a few and far between. A lot of the sight and visual gags are just silly and not funny. When Leslie Jones and his partner have sex with two body suits
Leslie Jones.
said to be condoms. Yeah, I don't know
She's not
where
in this
they
movie.
got the Leslie Jones. When, when Leslie Nielsen and his partner... I'll correct their review for him. When Leslie Nielsen and his partner have sex with two bodysuits said to be condoms, this turned to be full cartoon. Nothing was grounded in reality here, so it just feels empty and hollow, like a bad early morning Saturday morning cartoon. Dude, please, Grammarly your fucking reviews.
Or
It's so hard
just
to
get
read.
the right actor. Don't say Leslie Jones.
In addition, there's a lot of gross out humor here that adds nothing. Spitting and farting are frequent topics for jokes here. If that's your sort of thing, you might find it funny,
Fart
but
jokes
I
are
don't,
funny.
so I just winced. The Naked Gun is nakedly unfunny. 1 out of 5 stars from Veronica.
You tell him, Veronica.
Men aren't funny.
I did see the Men Aren't Funny review.
So cringe. Help.
I do think it is. I do kind of resonate a little bit with the boomer humor, like review type ones out there. Like, I do feel like this is kind of like, I don't know. It's very similar to a I hate my wife kind of humor. You know what I mean? Or that like kids don't know how to use technology.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It just feels very like old school, which sometimes can be funny, but also for too long they can be very, very not funny.
Those of us who have seen this film, we have some nostalgia. Maybe, maybe not. Zach's the only one who has seen it, so he'll go last. I'll give you an updated rating on Naked Gun. And Cam and I, we haven't seen it, so you'll get 2 fresh ones. Cam, what did you think on Naked
I hate
Gun?
these types of reviews because I think that it's not very interesting. I thought this movie was pretty okay. It was not nearly as good as Airplane, and it was kind of funny in some parts, but really not funny in a lot of parts. And I think that this movie would have done better with having like a couple other cast members who also were in gags or like, I don't know. I just feel like it was okay. So I think I'm actually going to give this one like a 5 out of 10. I thought it was like, yeah, very mediocre. Would I recommend watching it? I don't know. But I will say for me personally, if a movie gets below a 5, that means that I thought it was very bad. Like 5 is pretty much the lowest I'll go without saying a movie was like utterly terrible. If it was utterly terrible, it gets below a 5. So keep that in mind.
As I start scrolling movies that Cam gave less than a 5.
There aren't a ton.
Taxi Driver.
That one was terrible. I did not like that movie.
The Graduate.
That was not a good movie, yeah.
The Room.
Well, yeah, that's not a good movie. I mean, it's entertaining, but...
Mad Max.
Yes, also, yep, all right.
We won't address Hubie Halloween, because that was just... shouldn't have been given less than a 5.
After you reading the movies that are below 5, I stand by my statement.
Caddyshack and Batman.
Yeah, those weren't that great either. What did I give Caddyshack?
3.5.
Okay.
No, a 3.
A 3? Okay. I gave that a 3? Ugh. Maybe I gotta bump this down to a 4 then. I don't know. I feel like my ratings are kind of relative too. It's like, what did I give other movies, you know? You know what? I am gonna do it. I'm gonna bump it down to a 4 after hearing some of those. I don't know. I'm sure if I read some movies I gave 5s, I'd be like, this movie deserves less than that. So I'm gonna give this one a 4.
I'm gonna echo that 4. Did I enjoy the film? Did I laugh? Yes. I really enjoyed the humor style that they go for. I like some of the physical comedy with the gags of like switching out for the dummy. I like their like wordy dialogue. That kind of like makes you think, almost punny dialogue, to be honest. I don't think it's as good as Airplane though, and I hate always going back to that comparison, but it is the same director, writers, and Leslie Nielsen is in both.
Right, it's the same concept. I feel like that's a totally fair comparison.
Do I think you need to watch this movie? No. If you like 80s comedies, you could probably find something different.
Watch Spaceballs instead.
I gotta say, I don't really have nostalgia for this movie. This was one of those that I sat down and watched, and just, I think the issue with this one, I do think the comparison to Airplane is fair. What Airplane does better than Naked Gun is it's more timeless. You didn't need to be there in '88 when it came out to like get the jokes. And I think Naked Gun, if I saw it in like 1989, would probably get like a 6 or a 7. But I'm also going to give it a 4 out of 10. Locked that in to the spreadsheet before you guys went. So I got to say, this is our very first unanimous ranking on the Cocktails and Classics podcast.
Well, I'm kind of surprised that this is the first unanimous and that it's a 4.
Yeah, it's a weird rating.
It's got some jokes. Like, I'm a big Leslie Nielsen fan. I like a lot of the movies he's been in, a lot of the comedies he's been in. I think he's like the ideal straight man when it comes to how am I going to play this comedically, and you're trying to play it straight. Look at Leslie Nielsen for inspiration. But the jokes are just set in their time. I mean, it's more of a parody movie. Like Scary Movie probably won't be hilarious in 20 years, and I think that's what happened with Naked Gun.
If we offended you with our bashing of Naked Gun, let us know on Instagram at Cocktails and Classics Pod. Send us your movie and drink recommendations over there. Hit those drizzly links. Get some alcohol. Make a bramble. Let us know what you think. Check out on Spotify if you're listening on there. There should be question and answers that you could reply to us. Help us change some future episodes. Maybe give us your opinion, and we'd love to hear it and bring it up on the show. Check out Surfside Sips, buy some glass straws, cocktail picks. We love them. We get a little kickback from that and help you out with the 20% off. And check us out next week where we analyze House, the 1970s Japanese comedy horror film. It's a weird one, so definitely tune in for that. And as always, watch responsibly.